Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Just up front, a couple things. If you have any questions, please just at any time throughout, please just put those right into the questions section in your webinar interface there, and then towards the end, we'll answer those. And if we see something come through that needs to be answered right away, we'll grab it. But otherwise, we'll do like a Q&A at the end. So let's get started. I'm going to show a couple slides here, just introduction, and then I'm going to switch over to the actual app itself and kind of run you guys through an example upload. There we go. Okay, now you should be able to see the slides. So that's me, Patrick Stewart, Senior Director of Product here. Been with Skycatch for about 4 years, and was the main product manager for this new uploader. All right, so we're going to go through a short intro on Skycatch. I think most everybody on here is familiar with us, but I'll just give a quick introduction, talk about the viewer itself, and then basically what's new with the uploader, and then we'll run through an actual live demo. We'll do a Q&A. So for those of you that aren't familiar, at Skycatch, we offer an all-in-one solution. This is a full package, combines hardware and software to do everything you need for digitizing your job site. We focus heavily on high accuracy and reliability, and really an enterprise-grade product. You can do the full package. You can do software only. We're very flexible in terms of offering what you need and working out the right package for you and your needs and the needs of your company and your projects. Here's just a short little screen capture of the viewer, but this is our application that's used by our customers all over the world to view and analyze and collaborate around their job site using the aerial data that they collect and process with our system. And as with all of our products, we are constantly listening to our customers' feedback, spending time with you on your job sites to find what's the next problem to solve, what can we improve on this product, and what can we make better for you. So I think the one we're talking about right now is how we've taken your feedback and applied it to the new uploader. I think briefly what we've changed and improved here, we've tried to provide a much more simple user interface, as less steps for you, less confusion, more speed, and generally easier, especially to train new people and to get new projects online. We've added some things to the screen, including a processing time prediction that gives you a better sense of when should you expect to get this data set back. We've actually added real-time progress monitoring, both of the upload and of the actual processing job. We've added an accuracy level prediction, so you can have a sense of should you expect high accuracy or should you expect standard accuracy coming out of the end of processing. And there's some added drag and drop functionality that we didn't have before, and I'll show you exactly what that is. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over now. So here's just a sample job site in our local area here. The way that you access the uploader is through the same location, the same button on the top right of the viewer. It says Add Dataset. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And first thing you'll notice is it doesn't open a new tab. Old uploader opened in a separate tab. This one works right inside the viewer. It takes you to this big, simple drag and drop screen. And one thing I want to point out is with this screen, when you fly Explore 1, you can actually take the entire mission folder from Explore 1 and drop it right into there. So I'm actually gonna just update my screen share here for a second so you can see exactly what I mean by that. So now you should be able to see my Finder window here. And I'm actually going to take, I renamed it just for ease, but this is a mission folder directly off of the SD card from Explore 1. I'll open it up so you can kind of see. You should recognize what that looks like. This is a one flight mission. So I'm actually going to take that. I'm going to drag and drop it right in the screen. So the new uploader is actually parsing out everything it needs from that folder. Whereas with the old uploader, you had to go into each flight, dig a few folders down, find the images, find the UBX file. Now the uploader parses that out for you automatically. And I'll show you after this how that works with a multiple flight mission, same way, just as easy. So I'm going to walk you through along the left side is where we have all the sort of information about this upload. Starting at the top, it's already verified and validated all of the metadata on the photos, making sure that they have the right geotags and that they're usable for a processing job. It's actually auto-detected the site and pre-selected that for me. If I want to change that, I can. I can hit the drop down and select a different site. I can also go in and edit the site info, and I can also create a new site to apply this upload to if I want. Looking at the edit site info here, you'll notice it lists the site name, and it also shows the site coordinate system. So I can actually go in here and change that very easily. We have the default is UTM. We could select WGS84 as well. We could actually select projection and geoid, where you can go in and pick a specific EPSG code for your projection. And you can also select which geoid model you want. So the last option here is custom, where I can actually drag in a localization file if I have a custom localization for my job site. I'm going to show you how that works really quickly here. It's very easy. So I have an example here, two formats here. We accept several, but this is the CSV, drag and drop. It's processing that CSV now. When it's done with that, it's going to actually show you what were the values in the global, and then what are the values for the local. And that's there. That's now set. Your job site is now localized. When we process this data, it's going to be output with this localization applied. That's it. It's as easy as that. So I'm going to cancel out of that because I don't want to make any changes right now. We've got 627 photos. There's a couple rows here of extra information about those photos. And then what's really new, and we can spend, I think, most of our time on here, is this new card here called high accuracy mode. So this is for PPK processing. If I didn't want to do PPK processing, I could turn that off. And now we're just going to do a standard processing job. But I do want to do PPK processing. And the app knows that because I dropped in that Explore One folder that had the UBX file in it. So you can see here for the drone log, that's that UBX file, and it says one file uploaded. And if I want to see what that is, I hit edit, and I can now see this file is here. If I want to remove it, I can remove it. If I want to add more, I can drag and drop them. Next is the base log. So here I'm going to hit this drop down, and I'm going to choose what did I use as my base station. And you have two options. One is a local base station, would be something like a Topcon, a Trimble, a Leica, whatever. Or you may have used Skycatch N-Trip service as a base station. So for local base station, if I select that, the app is now asking me to add my base log files, and it's asking me to enter the position of the base station. This is the same general process that you had with the old uploader. It should just be a lot more clear now. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually do the base log. I'm going to just do an example here where I'm just going to pick any 180.190. It tells you what formats are accepted. I just added that, and that's now uploaded to the cloud. I'm going to hit done. Now I'm going to go into adding the actual position of the base station. And what's new here is you can actually select the model of base station that you use. And when you do that, we actually automatically factor in the face center height, so you don't have to calculate that in anymore. All you need to do is enter the pole height. So that's the height from the ground up to the bottom of that GPS unit that you put on top of your survey pole. And no longer do you have to actually add in that face center height. If you don't see your model of base station listed here, just contact our support team. tell us what it is. If you know the face center height, you can tell us. Otherwise, we're going to look it up and we're going to add it to this dropdown for you, and then it'll be there on your next upload. After you enter the pole height, I'm just going to put 1 meter in there. You can select what coordinate system that base position is. That's the position on the ground where that pole touches the ground. And your options are going to be either if you used a custom local coordinate system for this site, you could put it in those coordinates, or you could put it in WGS84. When I choose WGS84, you can see longitude, latitude, and height above ellipsoid are my fields. And at the top here, I can actually toggle between DMS and decimal. Again, this is general same process, but a lot easier user interface here. I'll show you how to remove this file now, because we're not actually going to process with this base station. So I just hit remove. It's deleting that on the server. I hit done. I'm going to go back here, and I'm actually going to select ntrip for our source for this data set. Now I'm going to click this button which says check validity of precision files. And when I do that, what it's doing right now is it's comparing the ntrip log or whatever base log you provided with those drone logs, those UBX files that you provided, and it's verifying that we can generate a usable PPK solution and get you that high accuracy output. If we can't, if there's an error, it's going to tell me that there's an error. This process happens on the old uploader too, but again, there's just a little more clear communication on this new user interface. So while that's working, I want to come over here to a different tab, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you do multiple flights. So now I've got a mission folder here that was actually a 3-flight mission. I'm going to drop that in, and it's going to now start validating the geotags on the photos and looking to see if it corresponds to an existing site in your profile. And this is a much larger data set, but you can see it's actually cranking through all of those photos right now. And I'll show you while it's doing that. Just like before, you can preview each photo and you can delete individual photos. So if for some reason, maybe you had a phantom and you took some test shots on the ground or something like that, you can delete those out. Now you can see this one actually has 3 different UBX files, and those are all already uploaded to the cloud. And it's still recognizing that you want to do high accuracy mode. Let's see here. To walk you through another part of the user interface while it's processing that validation on the PPK, let's look down on the bottom section here. You see this accuracy prediction. On this screen, it says low accuracy, and it says more than 100 centimeters. That's an estimate, and it's basically saying you're not going to process with PPK, or there's a problem with your PPK. Therefore, likely output of this is going to be a low accuracy output. Okay, and then when we complete the validation here on our original data set, you can see it still says high accuracy, and we're estimating as good as 5 centimeters on your outputs. And then just to the right of that, you can also see that it shows this estimation on the processing time. So for this data set, it's a little on the smaller side. So it's saying 9 hours estimated time to get the data back from our processing system. So we finished our validation, it passed, it moved us on to the next screen here. The first thing you see is a selector for your orthophoto resolution. And right now we're gonna get 5 centimeters per pixel out, and that's on the medium setting. In a future update for this, you're going to actually be able to select if you would like a lower resolution, which will then process faster. So if you need the outputs fast and you don't need extremely high resolution on that orthophoto, you can select that one. Or if you want a higher resolution, you can select high, and we just tell you like it's going to take a little bit longer to process, and you'll see that reflected in the processing estimate at the bottom. And that will give you whatever resolution you've actually mapped in, or whatever GSD you've mapped in, that's what you're going to get back from us at the end of processing. The next option on this screen is for marking GCPs and checkpoints. There's actually no change to this screen in this process, so I'm not going to go into detail here. This is exactly what you have in the old uploader. works really well. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start the upload. And I want to show you guys what that looks like. So it's queuing the upload process. First thing you'll notice is up here, we now have this progress indicator in this button. It's changed. We have the percentage. We have a pause button. So I can pause the upload and I can resume it. And we actually have this X here where I can actually cancel the upload. What you'll notice in the map panel is you'll notice that if you look around, you're going to see some of these white dots are actually sort of pulsing with this white shadow around them. It's actually indicating which exact photos are being uploaded at any given moment. And as soon as they complete the upload, they turn green. It tells you they're successful. Now, sometimes if it's maybe a spotty internet connection at your job site, you might see one of these photos or these dots turn red periodically. All that means is the upload of that photo hit an issue and it's now automatically being retried. And it will do that until it turns green and the upload is 100% complete. Now, I want to show you something that's also new as part of this while this is still uploading here. I'm going to click Return to Map View. And what you'll notice is right now we're actually reloading ourselves back into the normal viewer. And what we've changed here is you'll still get short upload progress shown in the main screen. So I can actually go back into the viewer, work with my data, view the job site, take measurements, do annotations, work with overlays, and I'm still monitoring the progress of that upload. And if I want to queue up multiple at the same time, I can just click add another data set. I can start another upload. I can get that going, and I can do as many of these as I want, and they're all going to show up in this list. And the same thing applies, and you guys will see here in a couple minutes, same thing applies once the processing starts, when the upload's complete. You're going to see the processing status of this data set. And again, you're going to see multiples of these. If you queue multiple up at the same time, you can see them in the list. So I think this might be a good spot to check if there's been any questions submitted, or if anybody wants to submit any right now while we sort of wait for this upload. Okay, so one thing I can tell you, if you want any other documentation about this feature, you can actually go to our support site, support.skycatch.com, and that we've added some articles and descriptions and explanation there, so you can go get more details or just get a refresher. Also, this webinar will actually be made available so that you can go back through it again if that's useful. And then obviously you can always contact support with any questions you have on that. And then in terms of getting access to this new interface, this is actually made available to everybody right now. So all current customers and newly joining customers, you're going to get this now as soon as you log in. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you everybody for joining. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you signing up and attending, and appreciate all the questions. Please follow up with those. If you have any follow-up questions, contact us after. Here is on the screen some helpful links. Support site, our main website. Sales email address is just sales@skycatch.com, and then you can follow us on Twitter at skycatch.com, and there's our LinkedIn profile and our Facebook profile as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.